Hello everybody from YouTube land. My name is Ellen Crimi-Trent and today is Monday, and on Mondays we have mini Monday Madness. We do mini paintings just for fun. It's an exercise just to, keep you creative, out of the box. And today we're painting a little cute Valentine's bird because Valentine's is close by and, something different and fun to do. I go over this step by step, but if you're a Patreon member, you could download the traceable. If you're not familiar with Patreon, you can click the link in my description box in my About page. I do exclusive tutorials there on Thursdays, and I give you traceables that go with YouTube. Not every single YouTube video has a traceable, but since July onward, I'm kind of trying to get the traceables in there. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, and also don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial is up. So without further ado, let's get painting. Tweet, tweet, tweet. All right, so I'm going to go over all my supplies. I have my typical, every single time I practically use this, Arches 100% cotton cold press paper. It's 3-inch square because mini Mondays are always 3-inch square. So if people ask what size, it's always a 3-inch square. That's how I created this series, and that's how it's going to be. I sketched out my bird on here. If you're a Patreon member, you can download the sketch. If you're not, I'll show you quickly how you can do a bird, and then you can just figure out how you're going to stick the stuff off of its beak. My palette here, my paints, I go over them as I use them, and I always put them in the description box. I'll probably be working with my Princeton 8 and 4 long round Velvet Touch series brushes, paper towel, and water close by. So, like I said, for the bird, I've done several birds on this YouTube channel, and birds are pretty simple to me. I think you're just basically taking a circle for the head, you're putting in a half, I would say like a half circle here for the body. But then on the tail, you're just kind of like wisping up, see, the little wisps of the tail. And then for the wing, same thing, right? The neck's going to have a rectangle skinny, and then the tie. It's kind of down, down, and then the V, and the beak, and the eye, and the legs. And then you're just going to make up these heart bouquet, a flower bouquet, whatever you want. And then for a heart behind his wing. I know I do that fast, but it's, you're going to get the bird, you can figure out, you can paint a heart, you can draw a heart. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to make the bird like a pretty blue. I have this beautiful color I love, verditer blue from Holbein. They also have this great rose color, bright rose. I might use some of that today too. So I'm going to grab my Princeton 8, excuse me, long round. I got that verditer blue. Just going to water it down, pretty loose. I'm going to flush the first color wash in the bird. Now this guy is a little tiny. So it's hard to show both the palette and the bird. So I'm going to do my best, but it doesn't always work out that way. I'm just going to flush in the first color around the heart, of course. See, I'm just really loosely sticking in that color. Voila. This is a very easy tutorial to do today. Weird noises. And, since Valentine's are on the corner, just trying to come up with some cute, fun, easy Valentines for people. See, I'm just flushing in that one color. I love this blue. It's like a periwinkly, pretty cobalty, pale blue. And see how on his little head, I kind of wisp out some of the blue for, the feather look. Little wisps. While that's still damp and wet, you can go in and grab that blue and add maybe some Prussian blue or peacock blue to get it a little bit darker. So now it's a little darker tone. You see that? I made it a little bit darker. I'm going to add a little more water to that. And then we can just tap in some darker color right on the tips of the edge here, on the back side, right over here, right by where the scarf would be and by the beak. See, it's already changing it, and in the bottom, and it'll blend nicely. You'll have this like nice, and then you can go again and grab some peacock blue here. I would grab Prussian blue, but it's going to be really dark. Grab a little bit of it. And just grab some peacock blue it's even darker. I'm just gonna see, I'm just tapping little areas. Tap, tap, tap. I'm not really painting, I'm just kind of tapping in color. Especially on the little end tail parts. We'll do the wing in a bit. We have to wait till the rest of this dries. So I'm just gonna give this little tap of color. Boom. See that? Okay, we're not going to go anything near here because you know that it's going to bleed right into it because it's wet. So we can grab our... The bird could be holding brown stems, red stems, yellow stems, blue stems, pink stems, black stems. I mean, make it whatever you want. There's no rhyme and reason to this. I could make it brown. I'm going to try a little brown. Or green. Maybe I'll try green. Yeah. I like to use... Holbein olive green gouache and water it down like watercolor, or you could just use Holbein olive green watercolor. See? Check out the color. The gouache is just brighter than the olive green watercolor, so I like to play around with both, mixing them. And I'm going to make the stems connecting underneath the beak green. But like I said, this can be all red with the pink hearts. Whatever you want to do, make it unique for what you like. The bird doesn't have to be blue. The bird could be red. If you're going to make the bird red, I'd make the heart pink and the tie pink. You know, I made them blue. I don't think you have to scream red and pink the whole time. I think you can do subtle ways of doing it. So that's painted right in there. I'm going to go a little bit further. And then we just grab whatever pink you have. I've got this, excuse my nails, just a mess. I've been painting rooms over in my house. My life has been a little bit crazy. Painting rooms over, buying a new car. And then I realized, wait a minute, I bought a car during Mercury retrograde yesterday. What the heck was I thinking? And if you don't follow astrology, you're not supposed to make purchases or sign contracts during Mercury retrograde, because you could regret it. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to regret it because it was a great deal and I'm just going to get it. So I got this bright rose. See, it's really intense. You could keep it that. I'm just kind of dulling it down just a tad with some of this cadmium yellow deep. But I love this color. If you can see that, so yeah, the bright rose. I mix a little of this yellow and that's going to be some of the hearts. I'm still using my Princeton 8. It's because it's such a nice sharp tip that I can manipulate it fairly easily. If you have difficulty, go do the 4. It's a nice good size. Now I'm not going to do all the same color. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do a few of these pink ones, and I might add in a little couple of red ones. You could do nice pretty rainbow colors. That would be cute. I'm really trying to encourage you guys to think out of the box. I mean, I'm showing you ideas, but then you need to translate them however you see fit. I know it's difficult when you see somebody's stuff and then you're like, okay, we'll just do exactly as that, which is fine. But then the best thing is to like try and figure out what you like. So I'm going to make a red heart in here, and I'm just going to mix colors to make that red. I mix quinachradone, magenta, I hate saying that word, and the yellow deep. It makes a nice pretty red. You know, you can just have a red, whatever you have for red. So I'll put some red hearts in here as well. You know, can't leave red out. I just didn't realize I told you. I switched to the 4 because I'm making smaller hearts. I figured they'd be better for me. The 4 is much smaller, longer, really skinny tip and long body. So you could put double red hearts. You could put some purple hearts in here. Like I said, change it up. You could have made your hearts bigger than mine. Or no hearts at all. You could have just done flowers. Who says you have to have hearts? Nobody says that. I'm going to make another different type of pink. A little bit darker pink for this one. But I just painted hearts. And for the big heart, make that red. Nice bright red. I like mixing the red, as you see here. with those two colors. I just find it brighter, more fun. I have a carmine that Holbein makes. I rarely use it. I like making my red. So now I'm just going to fill in the heart. What I am going to do with this heart, though, I'm going to leave a white halo. See, it's like a little teeny half moon right there. Grab some water. This is pretty just much concentrated paint, and I haven't put any water to it. Now I added some water. It will make the paint dry lighter. So it's pretty flat. And while this is still wet and flat, this is where this paper comes in handy. You can make it, put the wet on wet in there. So I'm going to grab that magenta. Or you can grab just crimson itself, but magenta, some crimson, some of that yellow. Make a nice deep red. Not too muddy. You don't want it muddy. I'm just going to tap the edges very carefully. And down here by the wing. See, I'm just touching the edges, just touching them slightly. And that darker red will start to bleed in and it'll look like more three-dimensional. Okay, so we're done with the red. The tie, I'm going to mix pinks and reds. So I've got that pink here, that pink rose. I'm going to fill that in with pink first. Using my little brush here. Flushing in the whole color. Wet on dry. This brush would be perfect for all the little details like his legs, which I'll make black. Grab whatever black you have. Could be watercolor, could be gouache, could be Payne's Gray, doesn't have to be black. Just going to do his little legs, just like that. For his eye, you're going around the circle on the outer circle, right? And then you're going to go and do an inner circle. This is where you need this little brush. Try and keep that white. If you can't, and then leave a little bit of the white dot. If you can't, it takes a little practice. Just use some gouache. Paint the whole thing black and go in and do a gouache inner circle. And a little dot for the eye. I mean, the beak is straightforward. You're going to do like a yellowish orange beak. Right? You don't, well, it's a little too yellow orange. More on the yellow side. Just simple like that. Cute. If you want to get really technical, you can put a darker tone right under the bottom of this. An orangey tone. Don't have to get there. Okay, so then we don't have to use this brush anymore, but if you still want to use this brush, it's fine. We're going to grab some of that darker blues that we have, and we're going to do the wing. See? Just putting that darker blue in there. It's a mixture of the verditer blue, Prussian blue, and then I'm going to go back in here and just see, I'm just wisping in some of that darker tone, and then here for the wing, right? Going under here where the tie is. Might water it down a little more and then go in here, just kind of like make these little wisps, you see? So they're like feathers. And then put some darker ones out here and around here by the beak. Just grabbing this dark color here. Even then, right in here, you can wisp in. I'm going to water it down even more. We'll grab some of that verditer blue. And just kind of like taking on the side, the brush on the side, kind of wisping in some of this darker blue, verditer blue. So it looks a little, I mean, it's not a realistic bird, but it looks a little more realistic. And again, go grab some darker blue, which is this. I just grabbed some indigo. It's really dark. I can just take some of that color up. There we go. That was a little too dark. And I'm going to wash in some of this darker tone over here. just a little bit. So then we got our little birdie body. You can tweak it, like go back in and add even still some darker tones on the wing if you feel like you can't see the wing. See, I'm adding a little bit darker tones. And then out here with the feathers and the tail. Just play around with that. But that's pretty much it. For the tie, we're going to go and grab a darker red right over that pink. I'm just going to make these little lines to indicate it's plaid. 3 down, 3 crisscross. Right? And over here. That's all you're doing. It's crisscrossing. And you get this little plaid tie. If you want to get really cute, you want to put in little polka dots on the little hearts. Could be white, could be dark pink, could be red. I wouldn't do it on all of them. It will just kind of be goofy at that point. But look, cutie bird. Now this is a super fast tutorial, right? I'm just going to go tweak some of these red hearts. You can write little words on the heart here. I love you, whatever you want to put. Hey, tweet, tweet. I don't know, whatever you want to say. That's pretty much it. If you want to have them on, if he doesn't want to have any floating, you can put them on the ground. You can put a little gray color going across. To me, he's a cute little floating guy. And just go and tweak the bouquet he's holding. Getting a little darker where the beak is. Right? And then up where the flower is. But this is just a really simple, cute little fun thing to do for Monday, mini Monday madness. And if you're in the Northeast like me, and you're expecting a big snowstorm today, and you're like, okay, what should I do? Well, you can paint a bird with hearts, right? Like I said, and this heart could have polka dots. You can just grab some gouache. Gouache. Wait, guys, I'm gonna make noise. Or I have this gel pen, this white gel pen. So make sure it works. And you can write, love you, right on the bird. So you see that? Gel pen. You can use this for the polka dots too. Love you. I think this is fun and easy to do, and just take your mind off the craziness that's going on in the world. And if you're, like I said, you're in a snowstorm and you want something to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, if you're a Patreon member, you can download the traceable. If not, I think it's pretty easy to draw the bird. Maybe it's easy for me, and I shouldn't say that because some people get offended, but I know you guys can draw circles and half circles and then curving lines, so and hearts. So you guys, sometimes you say you can't do this, but just don't do that. Just try it. You have to try it. I think somebody got mad the other day or something, wrote a comment that they tried watercolor and they couldn't do it. I'm like, you don't just give up in one day. You got to keep trying it. I mean, you should see the stuff that I did in my beginning. I mean, everything has a practice. You don't become a good cook overnight. Seamstress, artist, musician, everything takes time and practice. And if you think you're going to be an instantaneous artist overnight, it's not going to happen. Not even for the best artists. They're always learning. So I don't want you to get frustrated. I want you to just keep trying. That is the point. And you're supposed to be joyful. If it's not joyful, then obviously don't do it. Do something else. Maybe cooking's more fun for you and less stressful. I want watercolor to be fun, less stressful, and enjoyable. So don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know my tutorials are up. And if you have questions, leave them in the comment section. That's it, guys. I hope you have a fantastic Monday. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. And if you're in the Northeast, stay warm and stay dry.